Welcome to Front Page. So you know what? While the rest of the world is arguing over which chatbot sounds more like a human, the accountants at big tech have started spending money like they're trying to win a galactic war. And yes, of course, we're talking about $660 billion in a single year. A sum so obscene, it actually dwarfs the entire economic output of countries like Singapore or the UAE. Google, Amazon and Microsoft aren't going beyond buying, are now starting to go beyond buying just servers. They're building a new digital nervous system for the planet. Google Cloud is currently sprinting ahead with a 48% growth rate. But AWS is sitting on a massive $142 billion mountain, refusing to budge. It's actually like an arms race where the entry fee is $100 billion and the prize is everything. And of course, joining us today is our very brilliant tech journalist Siddharth Jindal, who has been extensively covering this. He has stopped playing with fire and he is now going to be playing with clouds. Welcome to Front Page, Siddharth. How are you doing?
Thank you, Sudhi, for having me again. Good to be here again.
Very good. Siddharth, we want to first make sure that you're going to make sense of these whopping numbers and figures. Please help us understand what's going on.
So I'll set the context for during this year's earning call. The highlight was the capex from all the three cloud players. So all of them are investing heavily. If we calculate the total amount of Meta, Google, AWS, Azure, they are going to invest $660 billion for the whole year.
Siddharth, wow.
And interestingly, it's like more than the annual GDP of UAE, Singapore, and Israel.
Correct.
That's a huge number. So
huge.
Yeah.
So that's basically the context setting that you've done for all the viewers, which of course now makes it very lip-smackingly interesting in terms of our conversation. I want to start with this, Siddharth. This is a number, this is a method which I want to get onto is Google is growing at a staggering rate, as we talked about. But AWS still has the lion's share of the market. So I want to first ask you this. What did Google do right this quarter that it's got that 48% growth rate?
Yeah, so I'll say the mode of Google is full stack AI approach.
Okay.
So the company cloud provider has like its own LLM, it's Gemini 3, so which gained a huge popularity among the users. Besides that, it's Google Cloud is there already, and then on the hardware side, the Google is innovating. So there's 7th generation of the TPU Ironwood.
Yes.
That is also
where they want to go head to head at some given point in time as far as NVIDIA is concerned. They want to start powering their own internal workings with those TPUs.
Yes, so like all the AI features of Google are mostly run on Google TPUs and it's very good at inferencing as well. And that gave them the advantage this quarter.
And also maybe the cost saving, no, Siddharth, if I'm wrong?
Yeah, so like Google is also using NVIDIA GPUs is not totally dependent on Google TPUs for inferencing. So Google CEO Sundar Pichai during the earnings call mentioned that 75% of their customers are now using like their full stack AI approach. So which gave them an advantage, and the numbers speak for itself. So for this quarter, they saw 48% revenue growth, and their revenue is 75 billion, beating AWS and Azure for this quarter. So like I've been covering cloud for quite some time. Like it is the first time like Google raced ahead. Usually it used to be like either AWS or Azure.
But you feel that, I mean, then obviously the counter question always is, right, that you feel like Azure or AWS for that matter will obviously not take this lying down. They're not going to keep, just idly sitting around and wondering. What do you feel could be their strategy? Given the fact that this is the full AI stack strategy as far as Google is concerned, what's the counter punch?
So like I mentioned in the beginning about Capex, so like AWS has the highest Capex for this year, so they are going to invest 200 billion and like most of that will go to AWS, and like Google is also not backing down. The company announced that it will invest between 175 to 185 billion in Capex for this year. So like for AWS, the company recently concluded its reInvent event last year in December, where in Las Vegas they announced their new autonomous products like Frontier Agents and Kiro developer tool. So it's also trying to attract developers there with their own models. So but unlike Google, the LLMs are not gaining popularity. Like Amazon released Nova series of LLMs. But Gemini 3 is already ahead. So I think Amazon is lagging behind on the model front. Although it has scale, it has enterprise customers, like
for sure.
Yeah, AWS leads the market.
It does, yes.
Yeah, currently it has 29% of cloud market share, while
which is huge, by the way.
And on the other hand, Azure has 20% and Google Cloud 13%.
Just to give you and maybe our viewers a little context in terms of the numbers, Siddharth, that you just mentioned, $185 billion, $200 billion, it's like buying an Air India Airlines, 5 to 6 of them in a month for 12 months.
Yeah, that's a good analogy to,
God. That's huge numbers, which of course brings me to this, which is the sovereignty scale. You mentioned a while back, Siddharth, that I mean this is more than the spend is more than the GDPs of 3 countries, developed nations. So do you feel that these this kind of spend takes it to a point where these companies are now their own sovereign economic powers? They are no longer a market?
So like the numbers you provided are good for comparison, but at the same time, as we are moving ahead with the AI development, as of now, these indicate that companies are betting big on data centers. That's why during our recent economic budget also, like we announced 20-year tax holiday for setting up data centers in the country. From like currently...
Was it 20 or was it 27 years?
No, 20 years, till 2047.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. So
which is the magical year.
Yes.
सब कुछ वहाँ बदल जाएगा.
Hopefully, Viksit Bharat that. So going by the trend, it appears that like companies will continue to invest in data centers. Like Meta, which used to be a social media platform, now is also setting up big data centers in US cities like Manhattan. So they are also betting big on compute. So yes, I think data centers is the way forward for these companies, so that they can provide more service to their customers. So for instance, if I'll check this report, like for instance, for instance, Google has more than 120,000 businesses on Google Cloud, and like 8 million of them are using paid enterprise Gemini seats. So this also indicates like how companies are rushing to adopt AI in their services.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so AI will become a part of their business strategies, and like to businesses to run, they will obviously go to cloud. Whichever cloud is able to provide them seamless services in this, they are going to win. So this quarter belonged to Google because their full stack approach clicked with the customers. TPU, Gemini 3, all of them came along well. Yes.
But I would like to conclude our discussion with this. We mentioned data centers quite a bit, Siddharth. I want to understand, Microsoft had recently mentioned that demand is still outstripping this, the supply of chips, right? Despite them having spent billions. So I want to ask you this. I mean, is there any ceiling as such to this, or is it only going to be the electricity bill per se which will slow this down?
Yeah, demand is exceeding than the supply, but I think in a recent CNBC interview, Jensen Huang addressed these concerns. So he said that the company will be able to provide GPUs to all the customers and the demand is sustainable. So after that, the shares of NVIDIA also rose 8% on Friday. But however, the investors are still worried. Like when the earnings report came out from these cloud providers, most of their shares fell down because investors felt they're investing so much in this technology. Is it going to pay off back to them?
Exactly.
Yes.
They're still not seeing the returns coming back.
However, currently revenue is increasing. It's a good indicator. But those the high capex needs to show some return in future. So investors are worried, but like Jensen Huang is confident that this is the way
going the right way.
Going right way, and the company will be able to provide Blackwell GPUs, and the production is in full speed.
Finally,
from their side.
Finally. What does Siddharth Jindal feel? Are we going the right way? If we are, then I would like for you to give us the front page take.
So my front page take from this quarter is that like Google has the momentum, AWS has the scale, and I feel that Microsoft is definitely going to make a comeback in the next quarter, because it already has like a huge number of enterprise customers. And yeah, definitely in the last quarter we saw some struggle with Copilot, and like people didn't appreciate it that much. But its continued relationship with OpenAI should actually give the company advantage in the next quarter, with like OpenAI also releasing GPT 5.3 Codex coding model. And like OpenAI is and Microsoft is also heavily partnering Anthropic, so that should give them some better advantage.
The boost in the models.
Boost in the models, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was a not good quarter for Copilot, but I feel they can make a comeback. Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you as always, Siddharth. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that was Siddharth Jindal, who covers this very, very extensively. He is saying that this quarter belonged to Google, and rightly so, but I believe the race is on and it's only hotting up, and we're going to have Siddharth back with us again in the next quarter. Well, before that as well, because Siddharth is quite brilliant. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Front Page by the AIM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.